All right, Gage. I was gonna originally ask your dad for a shop tour, but I figured you're the future, right? So I figured you give me your perspective, and then maybe in the next couple of years, as you get older and you're able to drive these things, then we'll do another tour, see how you really feel about these things. I was just about to have Gage give me a shop tour.
56 drag car, 57 Widow, the mushy car, the Fiat Topolino 53. As long as you don't let the zippers touch the paint, you're all good.
Show me around.
Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want, dude.
Come back and fix all the shit that I didn't do right the first time that they didn't.
Yeah, your dad's busy right now. Don't hurt him too hard.
Huh?
Don't hurt him.
Yeah, right.
So that is my car right there. I'm getting a deal on that thing.
What is that car?
It's a 1966 Chevelle. It's got a 327 in it. It's factory air, all original paint, interior, and it's completely stock. I'm getting 10 grand for it.
You're getting or paying 10 grand
Paying
for it?
10 grand for it. So
Do you have $10,000 right now?
I have 5 grand saved up so far.
You got a lot of money.
Well, that's what happens
How old are
when
you?
you work for your dad and try to get money wherever you can.
That's what happened. Amen to that, brother.
That would be my first car. I'm already getting money towards it. So
right.
then we have 72, C10,
All right.
then one right there as well.
Yeah.
Then Nova Wagon, 66. And then these Chryslers were Grandpa's.
Yeah.
And then that ran at one point, amazingly, many years ago. And we would take that to car shows and...
All right, so we're going into the other showroom there, or the other shop?
Yeah, you want the lights on, Gabe?
Yeah, sure, man.
Okay, so 56 drag car. We got this from a guy named Johnny. I'm pretty sure my dad's only driven this across the shop maybe once since he got it. So, nice car. I think it's almost brand new. I'm pretty sure this is a 64. I'm not sure what year this one is.
This is a 65.
65, okay, 1 year
65
off.
Chevelle.
That's what I thought. Because the convertible was a 64.
This used to be Jerry's car who was outside, so.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I went with my dad when we picked it up from him.
Yeah.
And this is the Nomad, but
The Nomad, yeah.
every time I take the cover off this thing, there's always something underneath it, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, we don't have to show. Well, we'll tease that for another video.
Yeah. So this is a 57 Widow.
The Black Widow, yeah, we
Black
talked about
Widow.
that in the last video, but we're gonna do our own video on this one. This one
Yeah.
deserves its own video, I think. You know.
Take a peek inside.
Sure.
These things are really fragile, so you gotta be really careful with them. And then 57 Chevy Bel Air.
Yeah, we did a video on that one. It was very popular. Everybody seemed to like this
The
car.
interior on this one is kind of similar to that one, except seats a little different and obviously different gauges, and it's a completely different car because that was made for racing. This is made
For cruising.
for cruising, but
And
this
bruising.
one's also made for racing now too.
Got it.
Yes. So that happened. And then here we have the Corvette. Now this thing is all original paint, interior, motor, everything.
Is your dad cool with you opening the car? Just checking.
As long as you don't let the zippers touch the paint, you're all good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes I show people and he's like, dude, you can't do that. You can't show other people, you gotta come ask me. I'm like, but then we had a conversation. It's like, it depends on who you're looking at it with, you know?
Sure.
So if I'm with you, then
Yeah.
it's fine.
So I got special access because, friend of the family, would you say?
Yes, sir.
At least that's what we're going with.
That is what we are going with. 66, 2-door Nova, Chevy 2 Nova.
Yeah, this thing's awesome.
Aztec Bronze. It was in Hot Rod magazine. Pretty well-known car, except it's slipped away over the years. The smell of this car it resonates with you every time you get in it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is. People always come by making offers. Oh, when are you gonna sell it? My dad's like, oh, you want me to sell it to you? You better have a big chunk of money.
Oh, yeah.
These
And this car
doors-
has a lot of meaning,
To him, of course.
Yeah. At least this particular one, I know for sure.
Yeah. So we got alcohol abuse. That thing hasn't ran in forever. I don't think my dad's even drove it. This one has been drove a couple times by a different owner, but never by us. This one we took to the races, I think, all of but once. And Tony Scarlotta, friend of ours, drag boat racer, took it out and injector hat blew off. Yeah.
It happens.
Carbon fiber.
You look just like your dad when you do that. It was hilarious.
The spooky boat.
Yeah.
This one's one of my favorites because I grew up riding in this boat.
Yeah.
And I only saw this one go about one time.
Yeah, it's a
But
beautiful
this one,
boat.
I love it. It's beautiful, runs great, and it's smooth.
Yeah.
Although my dad does like that one more because he says it's smoother. And then this is Hog Wild. I've never seen it run or drive, but my dad's taken it out to some events before.
Okay.
And then this is the Aggravation. I know this one's one of my dad's favorites because he grew up and he knew a lot about this boat, and it was always in the boat world for as long as my dad can remember. And so when my dad heard it was out there and he found out where it was, then he had to have that one too, of course.
Should we go upstairs?
Yes.
I know you have some favorites upstairs, huh?
So we had to get a car out. It's actually in the front
Bantam.
shop.
The Bantam one, yeah.
The Boulevard Delivery.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So that one was right there, and the Crosley Woody was outside, and so we had to get that off. So we decided, since that was happening, we had to move a bunch of things around. Now, you wouldn't think so, but that Crosley is right now, the Boulevard Delivery was further back. So
Buried back there.
it was
huh?
buried, yeah. So it was a pain to get to it.
Is this the Datsun?
Yeah, this is the Datsun, yeah.
Yeah. This one's pretty cool.
This one's a 36, if I'm not mistaken, when we last were up here. So yeah, it is a 36 Datsun touring car.
That's very
A
cool.
little dark, but I don't know if you can see inside.
Yeah.
This one was like fully restored and had all the work done to it. But, you know, Grandpa was all into the foreign
Eclectic
cars.
is the word your dad used, I believe.
That's what he uses. That's what I agree with.
Yeah.
So very eclectic, yeah.
It's a fancy word.
It is.
All right, so that's the Crosley.
So that's the Crosley.
Very cool.
That took a bunch of time to clean, even though it's a tiny car. It's always the tiny cars that take the longest. Nobody ever thinks that. They think, oh, it's the biggest cars.
Maybe they got the
that
most
take longest.
crevices and you have to be gentle with them. You can't be rough with them. What's this car?
This is a 1930 American Austin Coupe. This thing's kind of, I mean, I'll just put it at this. It's not my
Cup of tea?
cup of tea.
Got
Yes.
it. That's okay. You could appreciate it, but
You can, yeah, of
but it's
course,
still
you
not
can
your cup of tea.
appreciate it. I mean, obviously, maybe one day it'll be somebody else's cup of tea, but
True.
just not mine.
Gotcha.
But
Could you tell what cars these are without taking off the cover? Okay, so what's this car right here? What's that car?
Bantam convertible right there. But that's not the V8. That's just the convertible.
Okay.
This
What's this one?
this is, I'm pretty sure this is a 1930 right here, because when I was little, me and my uncle Steve Clark, been with him like my whole life, and you know, family friend. My dad and him worked together, and so me and my uncle would come up here, and I'm gonna pull the cover off this thing, but this is what we called the mushy car.
The mushy car.
Yeah, because this thing's a pain to get into.
It's kind of small.
Oh yeah, that's why we called it the mushy car. So it's a 1932 Austin Roadster, and whenever I try to get into it, I'm like trying to squeeze myself in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely will
I don't
never
know
get
how
in that
Grandpa
car.
fit in this thing.
I'll definitely never get in that car.
So me and my uncle would always mush ourselves into this thing.
Mushy car.
So
got
that's
it.
why we called it the mushy car.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Bantam pickup.
Bantam pickup.
It's
okay.
green, like a dark green.
Yeah.
It's nice. This is I think this is a coupe of some sort. This is an Austin, but I think this is the Chummy.
Chummy.
Yep, A7 Chummy. British auction, 1928. And as you can see, it drives on the wrong side.
Yes, it's definitely the wrong side.
You can't even read that. That's like unidentifiable mileage.
I think that's kilometers, not miles.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
It's like how in Britain or whatever, they go by the liter instead of the gallon.
Correct, the metric system.
Yep.
Correct.
And then this is another Bantam convertible with a Crosley engine in it.
Ooh, a little
and then
swap
there's another Bantam convertible with a V8 in it.
That's got a V8 in it?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I tell people about that, and they're like, that does not have a V8 in it. I'm like, you'd be surprised.
It's a small V8.
And look at that little motor.
Cute.
Yeah, how cute. And if you look at the gauges, instead of saying Bantam, it says Crosley, even though it's not a Crosley. There is one thing I do want to show you before we get into this pile.
Okay.
I don't know if you spotted it, but the one cool thing that I like about these cars, and you don't see them very often, is this.
Oh, the emblems, yeah. I shot that earlier. That's very cool.
Yeah.
What do you like about the emblems?
So, not so much the emblem. It's the fact of the matter being that is a thermometer.
Oh, yeah. It's functional.
Yep.
As well as cool.
I'm pretty sure it's hooked to the radiator.
Yeah, I'm sure it's measuring coolant right there.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So that's pretty cool because you don't see that anymore. I don't like this truck, but...
Why don't you like it? Because it's all apart?
Once again,
Two different
Gabe, not my
colors?
cup of
It's in primer,
tea.
what?
Not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea, okay.
No. I like that thing, even though it's also kind of a piece of junk, more than this thing. But my dad likes this thing because, who knows? It's just... So here's the Fiat Topolino 53. The interior's, how do I put this?
Rustic is the word I think you want. Rustic.
I have another word, but I'm not going to use it.
Gotcha.
So this is a Morris. I forgot. I forgot we had two Morris. This is a American Austin race car.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Homemade. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I can't say I don't like this thing, because I do.
All right, down to our last two cars. What do we got here?
BMW Isetta. I don't know the year of this thing.
This was the Steve Urkel car. A little bit before your time, was a TV show that Steve Urkel used to drive.
This is the Vespa. Yeah, very funny. It's just goofy. It reminds you of like one of those cars Mr. Bean would be driving.
Oh, totally.
But it's cool in its own way, too.
No, these are all cool cars.
Yeah.
Like I said, they might not be a cup of tea there, but they're cool in their own right.
Yeah, this one... Aha.
It's like a lawnmower engine.
Pretty much is. It's like a sewing machine.
All right, so of all the cars that are in here, what's your most favorite car? Like if you could only pick one, which one would it be? I know it's a tough question.
That is a tough question, Gabe.
It is. I ask the tough questions, man.
Out of Grandpa's collection, or just the entirety of everything? The
entirety. Whatever's on this property and the other property too, which we haven't shot yet. But let's just say on this property, what's your favorite car? The one car that you would pick out of everything.
Okay, well, obviously the 66, that's just... I would want that as my daily driver, you know? So obviously I love 66 Chevelles, but I'm not gonna mark it as my favorite because there's plenty more cars.
Yeah, we're not talking about like practicalities, like what's your most favorite one? So my most favorite one, and my dad does not know this, but
he will when he watches this.
He will.
That 57 Bel Air right there.
You know what's funny? That's my favorite too. Well, hey man, I appreciate you giving me this tour.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're a fellow YouTuber. You wanna give a little shout out to? What's your channel?
Yeah, mine is Abandoned Comedy.
Abandoned Comedy. So.
Well, thanks for having me, Gabe.
Oh, dude, my pleasure, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad you just take that time. It's a little bit different than your dad.
Less cussing.
Less cussing for sure.